You know what? It's just like anything else in life.
Yeah.
You will rattle it around
Yeah.
until you come to calm.
Yeah.
With which way you want to go. I'm Laura from Ontario Business Central, and today I'm with Amanda Watson. She owns Parched Floral. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Amanda, tell me what Parched Floral does.
Parched Floral, if you think about flowers, they're in every single part of your life. Celebration, memorial, anything. Dance recitals, you get flowers. And they all mean something very special when you get them. And so Parched Floral, we actually will press and preserve them into framed art for you to keep forever. So once those flowers are preserved and framed, they will last hundreds and hundreds of years.
So Amanda, you started your business in 2022. How's it gone so far?
Well, it's been a wild ride. It's been nothing short of spectacular. And also definitely one of the hardest years of my life, but the best years of my life. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I finally decided to do it full time.
So did you originally start doing it as a side hustle while you had a full-time job?
Flower preservation is a very, it's a slow process, but it's something that has to be learned. There's videos online and things like that that you can learn, but it's really practice. So I started practicing while I was working and taking on small commissions, but I was just kind of doing it for family and friends at first.
That's a great idea. So you said that there were parts of it that were really hard for you.
In 2020, when obviously the pandemic was happening, you know, the world was different. I was working, I've been in events, event planning for almost about 15 years. And I was working at an event company at the time as director of global events. In 2020, my father passed away suddenly. At the same time, while that was all going down, the company that I was working for closed its doors because it was an in-person event-based company. I also had a miscarriage during that time, and it was all within 3 months that this all happened. And it was kind of one of those moments where you kind of reassess what you're doing. During that time, everyone sent me flowers, memorial flowers, as you know, that's what people do. And that week, I remember just the flowers all started to mold. They started to die. And it's kind of one of those, they talk about aha moments. And it was one of those things I thought, you know, I love these flowers. And there was a particular bouquet that was very special. My sister-in-law had got me a replica bouquet of my wedding.
Oh, wow.
So my dad walked me down the aisle,
yes.
And it was like very special.
Aww.
So she replicated it. And I thought, I don't want to throw out this particular bouquet. And I thought, why don't people save flowers? And that's kind of when I started. And my dad always said, you should own your own business. You should go into entrepreneurship. And so I thought, okay, what if I tried this? I took on some contract event jobs, and on the side, that's where that side hustle came in. I was doing this and I was really good at it. So I started.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think you said that you did it for family and friends. And then how did you go from that to actually having the business as a business?
I did end up getting a full-time job after all of that at a nonprofit, actually, doing events. I was actually their chief of staff. And why I kind of mentioned that title is because during that transition, I was learning a lot of the operations. I was learning a lot of like how to grow a team, people management, all of that. I knew the people management side of things, but I didn't know the operations side of things. So I was working, and I actually ended up getting pregnant again with my daughter. When I got this job, I actually said I'm planning on, you know, having another child. It was a contract position, and it was perfect timing. And the contract was ending right around when I was due, so it was perfect.
Oh, perfect.
So I full disclosure, let her know, you know, I might not come back. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm gonna, you know, take my mat leave, and I did. And then when my mat leave came to an end, that's kind of when I said, okay, let's do this. I'm married. I have my husband support and family support if I need it. And so that was it.
So you had all the elements that you felt that you could move forward and start this business, and that's terrific. So what has been the biggest accomplishment for you so far?
Probably getting so many orders that I don't know how to fulfill them.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. I opened my doors and I was flooded with orders.
Wow.
Like flooded. And I thought, okay, my goal is 50 orders this year, which is a lot for when you're starting out. I got 50 orders pretty much right away. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm not set up for this.
And how did you do that? Like, did you have a lot of social media going?
Instagram. I just started following wedding accounts, talking to wedding planners, florists, engaging with couples.
Right.
It was all through Instagram, and I would say 95% of my business still comes from Instagram, and it's all organic. A couple of reels that I did got some large views, and from there it just was word of mouth. And I would do one piece for one bride, and she would pass it along to her friends, and they would pass it along to their friends, and that's how it happened.
Good for you.
A few months ago, I started doing some marketing through Instagram, but very little. And I got a partnership with a very large floral company. So I partnered with them. They approached me and said, we do wedding flowers. Would you be interested in doing be our pressed floral preservationist for our organization? So I've been doing hundreds of orders for them. I think this year 350 orders are for the 12
So
months.
they found you. That's fabulous that you were able to get that.
Thank you. But scary. It was scary.
Scary, yes.
Scary
yes.
for me, for sure. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
So what about like something that you really found difficult?
I think honestly, the biggest thing is I always think about, okay, if I did this journey before I had kids, what would that look like? Because in events, I used to work an insane amount of hours. I could work from 7 a.m. till 10, 11, 12 at night, and it was fine because I had to get my work done, and I did. I think the hardest part with entrepreneurship is especially when you're a solo entrepreneur, it's when you have kids, you kind of, if they're sick from school, there goes your day. It's very unpredictable. I can't work all night. I would never change a thing. I love being an entrepreneur. I think it's one of those things I wish I would have done it sooner because I do have that flexibility. But it's way more work than I expected.
Yes.
But it's fulfilling work. The bright light in all of this is I can go pick up my children. I can spend time with them, and I don't have to worry about, clocking in my hours because I know I can put them to bed and work.
Right, and then go back to work after.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
so that's been my biggest challenge, is trying to balance it all.
Yes.
Which I haven't figured out.
Well, your business is a baby, right? And then you have 2 other children. So
Yes,
a baby who never grows up, and then kids that move through their lives. But that's great that you're able to take time and do the things that you want that's a priority in your life. And that's the one thing I hear over and over again is the flexibility
Yes.
that being an entrepreneur gives you over working for somebody else. Now, when you started your business, you could either incorporate or register. Which one did you decide to do?
I incorporated. It wasn't even a second thought for me. When I did my research, it just made complete sense for me to incorporate. I wanted to keep everything very separate from my personal. I didn't know how big Parched would get. I wanted the flexibility of if I wanted to grow, I could. So I incorporated, and I'm very happy I did.
What was the tax change like for you?
One of the reasons why I hired the bookkeeper and accountant that I did was because when I went to them with my books, they didn't seem afraid. And I was so scared when I went to them with I thought was the biggest mess. So that is 100% the scariest part of being
The scariest part.
Yeah.
Okay. What about having mentors? Like you said, you have family members who are entrepreneurs, and I always call it the kitchen table conversations. My family were entrepreneurs as well. And I think it's great growing up with entrepreneurs because there's a different language for entrepreneurs than people who work for others.
For sure. So my twin brother, he had a very successful bus company that he started from the ground up. He had it running for almost 15 years and sold it. He was someone that I could call and just say, like, is this a normal feeling? Am I in trouble? And he was very real with me, of course, because he's my brother, right? And I think having entrepreneurs in your family, like you said, it's a different language. It's not like this abstract thing for them. If they've been in it, they've been in the trenches, so they can be in the trenches with you.
Very interesting. Where do you think your business is going to go? Like, do you have a business plan where you're thinking, I want this in the next year, 3 years, 5 years?
Yes, so I'm actually looking at commercial space this week, which is another huge, scary thing, because does it make sense? Will I be able to afford rent? Technically, it'd be great if I could stay in my house and do this, but I'm now slowly leaking in, not slowly, very aggressively, very aggressively taking over our entire house. I feel like once you take that leap, like I took the leap in entrepreneurship, but now I'm taking like this other massive leap, like is that smart? I don't know. And I guess that's where mentors come in. I guess that's a question for a mentor. I don't know, but can you tell me the answer?
Well,
What's the answer?
You know what? It's just like anything else in life. You will rattle it around until you come to calm with which way you want to go. Now, if you were going to talk to somebody who is looking at starting a business, what would you say to them?
I would say there's people that do belong in corporate and working for someone. My husband's one of them, and he loves it. That's the environment that he thrives in. But I would say to someone, if you're doing something outside of your work that you like doing and you feel like you don't have enough time to do and you just want to get back to it, I feel like then you have a passion. If you have that, something you're excited about, that means that you have a passion, which I didn't know I had until now.
So if you could think of 3 words to describe what it's like to be an entrepreneur, what would they be?
My 3 words, I would say excitement at the unknown, at the possibilities, so excitement, insecurity, because of all those same reasons. Should I be doing this? Am I doing it right? What's to become of me? Can I pay my bills next month? Will I be successful? And my 3rd word would be fulfilling. Because for the first time in my life, I feel fulfilled. Like I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, and all of those 2 other words that I use and the notions behind them all come into that. It's all gonna be okay because I'm where I'm supposed to be. And those are my 3 words.
You use Ontario Business Central to incorporate your company. What was your experience with us?
For me, not knowing how to do any of this, when I did my research in deciding whether to be a sole proprietor or incorporating, after kind of looking at the resources on Ontario Business Central and looking through kind of the benefits to incorporating and things to think about, I just found there was tons of resources to reference, and that's kind of what made me make the decision to incorporate, and it was very easy and seamless. I did it myself, and then later after I had done that, I had my first filing done, completed by a lawyer, just to make sure that everything was proper, and it was. And I do get email reminders actually of things that are coming up as well.
That
yes.
are too,
yes.
Because you're too busy running your business, right?
Exactly, yes. So
Well,
it's appreciated, so thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Well, Amanda, it's been my pleasure to sit down and speak with you. I wish you all the best in your
Thank you so
business.
much. Thank you so much, Laura.